Hello, this is Tom from anti-proton.com, and I checked out the readings that you posted here. Well, I won't say your real name, but we'll say TTBSMJP. Anyway, you have a little monitor 4 Geiger counter, which I think off the top of my head, it has a standard tube in it. I think it has an LND 712, just like the one I use for RadiationNetwork.com. I think your readings are perfectly fine. The little analog dial, as it moves to indicate what the readings would be if they stayed at that level. So if it jumps to 100, and then it jumps to 100, it doesn't mean it's actually 100 counts per minute. It means that if it got there and then stayed, it would be at 100 counts per minute. And the reality is these readings are perfectly normal. Here, I'll give you an example. Let me take off my Geiger counter here. This is the one I use on RadiationNetwork.com. I have the cable underneath the table here so nothing bad happens to it. You can see it's ticking. Oops, maybe I should pull it back a bit. And it will tick similarly to yours. Now, it's not wanting to tick very much right now. But anyhow, if you go to RadiationNetwork.com, let me go there. Alrighty, here's RadiationNetwork.com. If you look in RadiationNetwork.com, and you go to Georgia, let's see here, Georgia. You see there's a station in Georgia, near Atlanta. Let's pull them up. Here's their data. As you can see from their data, they're ranging anywhere from the 40s down to, well, 0. Here's their actual statistical data. Their average count, and they have a much more sensitive unit than you do, so divide by 3. Their average count looks like 22 to 23. Alright, and let's see here. Let me use my calculator. Alright, 23 divided by 3 is about 7. Well, actually, let's double check that and see if they're using a different unit than you're using. Alright, let me look up their ID. Ah, they're using a monitor 4, exactly the same as you. I was wrong, they're using a monitor 4, same as you, and they're getting as high as 44. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. When you're in the East Coast, if you find readings that are, well, here, let me show you. When you find readings that are anywhere from, let's say, 10 to maybe 20, even as much as 30, on a small tube like this, see, it has a little tube in the front of it like that, that's not a big concern. If you were, of course, on an inspector series, like the other type of Geiger counter I use, ones that are much more sensitive, you wouldn't want to go over maybe 50 in the eastern areas, and maybe 60 or 70 when you're out west. But if you go to RadiationNetwork.com, you'll see that if in places like Denver or Colorado, for example, you can have readings that are as high as 70 and 80, and that's perfectly normal. So let me pull it up here, I was looking at what you posted, watching it tick away, and I think I can adjust this so that you can see both. And you can see for yourself. Let me cut the sound up. Alright, there's yours versus mine. As you can see, yours and mine are actually ticking pretty similarly. Not quite, but pretty close. It's kind of funny to compare them like that. But you get the point. Anyway, I wouldn't worry too much about readings at this particular level. By the way, I love your little monitor 4. I'd almost get one of those myself. They're not good for the kind of things that I do, but they're so cool to have a little dial, and I don't have a dial, and I'm kind of depressed about that. But anyhow, I have Geiger counter envy as usual. But, let's see here. This has been Tom from anti-proton.com, and ask me if you have any other questions, and I'll see if I can help. Bye-bye.